Good?
I'm good.
Did you put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
I just threw it on the floor.
Yeah, but it's not going to help if it rings.
It's on vibrate. You're not going to hear it.
Well, if it vibrates, I can't speak. If it vibrates, might as well be on you.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer it anyway.
All right. Cheers. So back from Ohio.
Yes, I'm exhausted but well rested.
Yeah,
from last night.
It was a good week. So for our listeners, we spent 5 days?
5 days.
Monday, Tuesday, 5 days in Ohio. 1 day was a vendor show. 1 day was just getting situated, I guess. 1 day was a vendor show, and then 3 days of teaching our plainclothes survival tactics class. So over 30 officers. Love seeing the faces when they figure out how simple it is to get out of zip ties and handcuffs.
And not just that, the psychology behind it. It's amazing to me, and we mentioned this in the class, like this whole blanket training that officers get, yet there's so much specialized entities within law enforcement that don't come out of that norm.
Yeah.
Like over 90% when we ask them, have you ever trained this way?
None.
It's like none. And it just baffles
and
me.
Even when they did do some let's say some of the instinctive shooting or working from vehicles and stuff like that, they would say that never anything like what we've done.
Yeah, I mentioned it on my Facebook post, and I'm horrible with social media, but it's every single class this week. It's always nice affirmation when you hear it. This is one of the best classes I've ever taken.
Yeah.
And it's not even the full class.
Right. Right. No, it was good. So we can talk more about that in the future, but really what we wanted to concentrate on today, we're recording this on a Saturday. Tomorrow is Father's Day.
Father's Day.
It's going to drop on Monday, the day after. And we're both fathers, and this is a Silver Savage podcast.
It is.
So I would assume many of our listeners are fathers as well.
Mm-hmm.
And really, when you and I discussed this, I mean, we didn't really want to talk about fatherhood because to each their own in the thing, but we were really thinking about the educational processes. And, we're talking about different schooling systems, and you have a 3-4-year-old, right?
Yep.
How old is Samson?
He'll be 4 this year.
That was right. 3-4-year-old.
3-4. That's an age. 3-4.
Right. And I have a daughter that's almost 2.
2 going on 30.
Yeah. So they're getting to the age where we got to have to make a decision. Do we put them in the public school system? Do we put them in the private school system? Do we homeschool, or do we do something different?
That's all part of parenthood, right? That's all part of, decisions, because kids can't make those decisions on their own. I don't care what the argument it is. They can't.
Correct. And short of you looking for a specialist, for example, my boys go to a Jewish day school. So it was very important for the mom that they go there. And so very little say on that end. And luckily, the school itself is a good enough school that I don't have too many issues. I have some issues, but not too many issues on the academic level, right? So I know they're going to be okay. My daughter's already 16, so 2 years from graduation, I'm not messing with her.
That just made me nauseous.
And I will say I found out, because she goes to a public school system in Baltimore County, and I did learn that there are really 2 different, populations or demographics in the school. There's for lack of a better term, I'm going to say general population, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's and then there is the advanced, whatever they call it, right? The AP, or there are different terms for it. And she's obviously in the academically accelerated program, so she doesn't really hang out as much with them.
They don't have time because they're in all these extra classes and whatnot. I was like right in between in high school.
So she doesn't really get the negative, stereotypical public school issues, which Baltimore County arguably doesn't have many of. It is not the city. And I do want to say that her school, when something does happen, there were a couple of times where there were fights and police had to be called in and stuff like that. They do a very good job of communicating that to the parents, saying what's being done and how is it being handled. So all in all, not bad. I am not frustrated with it. But now I'm looking at, I didn't think I'm going to have to do this again, right? But I have a soon-to-be 2-year-old, and I'm hearing about drag queens at story time at school and different curriculums that are perverse versions of history and math. And and you have to think about what is safe now. How do you not indoctrinate a child to a certain lifestyle that you don't agree with and have say? Because there are school systems around the country where parents are being completely shut down from making any decision.
It's insane. It's insane what's going on. And again, that's a whole nother topic, but school should be about reinforcing reading, writing, and arithmetic and the viable things you need in life, balancing checkbooks, even how to write a check. I mean, if people still write checks, but basic finances, things of that nature. It's one of the reasons we put my middle son in a different school that focuses on that. I mean, they have a farm on the school and they're going to be learning agriculture and things like that. I think we've completely lost focus on that, and it's unfortunate. And this is why it's going to fall on the parents to take a stand, fathers and mothers, to really enforce their morals, values, and ethics, not just of their own, but of what this country was founded on.
And not only that, increasing curiosity within kids and having them do research and learn for themselves rather than feeding them some sort of propaganda type, agenda that somebody else wants the kids to be fed. I find it very cool when you told me about the school your son is going into and all the different skills he's going to be learning on top of the typical academics, right? And I think that's great because honestly, there are skills nowadays that are lost on people,
right? There's a reason why, a welder or a pipe fitter can make six figures now these days.
Because nobody else wants to be
nobody's doing it. Nobody knows how to do it. Nobody knows how to do it.
And I think, we talked about COVID a while back. One of the positive side effects in my mind was the idea that schools realized they can do a lot of it virtually, and schools realized that a lot of the stuff, specifically on the college level, a lot of the electives and stuff like that they were teaching were useless. They just to fill up, credits and charge more money. So now there are programs out there that say you want to earn a profession, you do not need to go to a 4-year college.
Yeah, I've seen that myself. When I was transitioning out and, just looking at the job market, it's amazing how you'll see now in there is like, yeah, you can have a 4-year degree, but we prefer, so many years experience or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And schools that give credit towards, life experience as being military, law enforcement, anything like that, I think that goes a long way. But let's bring it back to our young kids. You and I were talking about an idea, and honestly, not to be quite frank with everybody, not an original idea, right? So it's something we learned from, or at least I heard from Tim Kennedy, right, and something that he was doing. But the idea of creating a school, call it a private school, a charter school, I'm not really sure about the terminology, and teaching those skills that you and I talk about. So, us being Masada, right? Including self-defense, including basic medical stuff, including life skills, like you said, changing an oil on a car, stuff that will set them up for success in the terms of being able to endure and survive whatever life is going to throw at them.
Yeah, just the basic viability of life. You graduate high school, what do I do? You want to be able to have some skills to survive.
Yeah.
Now it's okay to be 30 years old and living with your parents. I don't think so.
I don't think I could last, honestly.
I left my house at the age of 17.
Yep, 18, went to the military. I would still come home on the weekends, but as soon as I got in the military, I got my own place. And, I would go nuts.
There's no way.
Mom, if you're listening, I love you, but you and Dad drove me nuts.
Yeah, I just hung up on my mom by accident, so I'm going to hear it here in a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it was an accident, though.
It was. You saw me trying to answer, and I realized, oh, damn, I hit the red button, not the green button. I took the red pill.
I saw you messing with the phone. That's all I saw. And they call it Freudian sleep for a reason.
Oops.
Yeah, Freud did talk a lot about son-mother's relationship. But, we have the space at Masada. We have, 3,500 square feet. We have people with a vast reach of knowledges and expertise, right, between yourself, me, Michael, some of the other people in the office. If we wanted to teach a curriculum, academic curriculum that is on par with what's being taught in other matching school systems, right, I think we can do that and probably better. And then on top of that, teach those block of instructions. Like if a child, like physical education was taken out of most school system, but if we teach a 45-minute self-defense class every day, can you imagine the health, wellness, and how that would translate into the overall well-being of a child emotionally, psychologically, and just health, right? So having that as part of the curriculum, I mean, the work you do, let's say with your woodworking and building, if you can teach how a plumbing system works, right? So these kids have a basic understanding. Not that they're going to be a master plumber or anything like that,
right?
But they're going to have a certain level of independence that most people right now, if they have a clogged toilet, they have to call and pay $250 for an emergency call, for a plumber, right?
I mean, you'd be surprised how many young adults you have to tell them righty-tighty, lefty-loosey to use a screwdriver. I mean, it baffles me, you know, but at the same time, I get it because we're just losing focus of those basic skills.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know that I get it. I'll be honest. I think some things.
Listen, I don't get it because my 3-year-old knows how to use a screwdriver, a hammer, a drill.
Yeah, and you know, we even take it a step back. I mean, writing.
Yeah,
kids nowadays don't know how to write. They type, and even that shortened typing, right? Because everybody's like LOL, IDK,
oh my God, and I can't stand when they talk that way too.
Right? So they're losing the ability to actually write. You know, don't even talk about cursive anymore. People can't read or write that.
Yes, thankfully my kids are still learning cursive in their schools, but again, private schools, not public schools.
Yeah, when AI, you know.
And I was just about to say, technology is really, although it's advancing us in certain areas, I think on a basic social level, it's hurting this next generation. Because like you said, nobody writes letters anymore. No. You know, there's no handwritten correspondence.
They don't even have to write an essay anymore. ChatGPT, write me 1,000-word essay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
and what's crazy is like apparently you can detect if AI wrote it, but what comes out programs that can counter the counter to the counter. I'm like, come on, like there's no originality anymore.
Right.
It can even draw you pictures. You know, I'm thankful my daughter, she loves art. She hand draws art. I got her a tablet. She does the Procreate and everything like that, but I still find her in her room with her paintbrushes stroking away. And I encourage that. You know, I said, you have to be able to do it from your heart with your hands before you can push a button and just do it that way. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, technology should be an enhancer of your skills, not a substitute for your skills.
Correct.
You know, I would love
to our technical difficulties.
I hope this was not muted the whole time.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, we'll find out.
If not, you're just going to have to lip read.
I need Michael to freaking be here and manage all of that because that's too much of. Anywho, in case people missed the last couple of seconds because of the changes of microphones and whatnot, talking about possibly opening a school, talking about the viability of us being able to do it. You were mentioning a mutual friend whose wife does all this.
She provides teachers.
Right. I don't think we ever need that, to be honest. I mean, it would be cool to pick her brain, but the reality is that take a typical curriculum. You can teach history.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, please don't make me teach math.
No, I can teach math.
Because you know I count
and biology. Yeah, you do. You know, you can teach woodwork. We can all teach PE.
And here's the thing. I used to have a teacher. I loved him to death. Go figure. He was a former Marine, Vietnam vet, but totally cool guy. And he had this saying every time. It was a social studies class, but he was same idea as us, right? Like a kinesthetic learner, hands-on, which is hard for social studies. But he would incorporate every other subject. So, you know, like something math came up, he'd say social studies into math, math into social studies, or social studies into English, English into social studies. And you can take a woodworking class, for example, you're going to learn mathematics. You know, you're going to learn different things. You're going to learn.
Do measurements, geometry.
Correct. You know, this is why you look at the Amish, right? They only go up to elementary school, high school. They learn their basic arithmetic, and they own multi-million-dollar companies building sheds and slides. And
allegedly.
Allegedly,
no,
right?
It's for sure.
I'm pretty sure they grow the kush and sell it on the side too, because they got those awesome farms.
But they may save this world in terms of fighting AI.
Yeah, they're definitely when Skynet goes active and you know the war of the machines start.
They're going to come with their pitchforks and
well, they probably won't even know what's happening. So, they'll be secluded in their towns.
That's funny. No, but I think, as a father that's really concerned about the state and shape of education in this country right now, and I'm thinking, Tyler and I were talking about, do we homeschool? I mean, honestly, right now that's the most viable option, because I really don't like the way. But for me, always there's the whole concept of the social interaction, right? And I understand homeschoolers. There's groups they belong to. They do certain things together.
Well, that's the program that we got. It's a co-op. So you're in school 3 days, you're home 2 days.
Right. So, but if we can get, 10 kids that in the same boat and get them every day together, almasada, again, we have the space, we have the people. We should be able to run a school, in-house. And I think that'd be great. What other subjects are being taught today that we need to make sure we cover? I mean,
reading, writing, and arithmetic are your 3 basic subjects.
Yeah. So let's talk literature. Who can teach literature? Because the books you read are not child appropriate.
I mean, you know what though? I love military history, but I actually have children's military history books.
Yeah, that's why you're not appropriate to teach.
Yeah,
literature.
I probably shouldn't. All right, kids, this is what happens when you get gutted with a bayonet on Guadalcanal.
I got nothing.
At some point, they're gonna have to.
You'll take over when it's history time. But I think internally we can find people, or maybe one of the parents of the other kids can teach, literature.
Yeah, there's always going to be somebody who pitches in. That's the whole idea of these charter schools, co-ops, etc. You're gonna pull on the resources that apply. It's like anything else. Like we look at it from a military standpoint, right? You're gonna get your best shooter to be the designated marksman, right? You're gonna get your smartest guys to be the medics and stuff like that. It's no different in the educational realm, right? You're just like you're running a fire team. All right, you're good at this, that's what you're going to do. You're good at this, that's going to be your primary. You'll have a backup, but that's going to be your primary.
There's got to be an overlap. There's got to be an option, because, for example, we travel, right? So if you and I are teaching at a conference, somebody else should be able to teach, history, math, and biology instead of us.
Or at least be able to set it up in a way that someone can look at what you're doing and then just run with it.
And honestly, using technology, most of this program, you can buy curriculums online and put them in front of a computer, as long as we augment it with get off the screen. Let's do self-defense for 45 minutes. Let's go for a jog. Let's learn how to swim. Let's do some woodwork, stuff that is not dependent on true academics. So it can be a split program. Look at that. We're actually developing the whole program right now.
You think about it, again, I like integrating stuff. Like you did it with Havoc. I did it when I was in the police academy because I was so limited on time. So I would combine physical fitness with defensive tactics, which is basically the premise of Havoc, right? You do it when we do shooting, right? You give them math problems, and the solution is what? How many rounds you shoot. It's no different. We do it with kids. All right, 5 + 5. That's how many times you got to punch the bag. So you're limited by your own creativity and imagination.
Right.
So there's ways, especially me, that's the type of learner I am, very kinesthetic. I think I would have been a lot more successful in math if I had an abacus in front of me. You know what I mean? Rather than just staring at a board and trying to figure things out.
My kids actually learned how to use an abacus in kindergarten, which I thought was fascinating.
Yes, but it puts it right in your face. You're seeing it. Right. It's in your hands. It's tangible, rather than this idea floating around in a teacher's head that's putting it on a chalkboard, if they still use chalkboards, and you have to figure it out. Whatever. I use a chalkboard, and you're not supposed to erase from side to side. You're supposed to erase up and down.
No, I did not know that.
Do you know why?
No.
It wiggles your butt.
Oh.
So you're not shaking your ass to the kids.
Are you making shit up now?
No. I actually heard that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know if I'm doing it, Mr. Steve's got a fat ass.
Mr. Steve does have a fat ass.
I do, but that would avoid the jiggling of it.
Oh, okay. I got you.
All right, back to topic.
No, Squirrel. I think we got the topic down. I think the idea of, again, as we talk about Father's Day, and as parents, we're concerned about our kids' future and proper upbringing and education. Coming out with solutions like that. And not that this is the perfect solution for everybody. I think for us, it's pretty ideal. But I'm thinking other people, depending on where you live, geography, your own background.
And I'm sweating. empirically speaking, like I grew up in New York City, right? I didn't even know what grass was until, I went to Central Park in Manhattan. But if it weren't for certain classes that at the time were available in school, I would not have known basic things like how to use a screwdriver. There was a woodshop class. There was a home ec class, which I loved because I was the only guy in it. But I learned how to, cook spaghetti. And actually, my final project was a donut. Thank you. Hey, man, it was a premonition. I became a cop. So,
that's racist.
But then you also had these charter schools. Like I remember, I think it was Bronx Automotive, where you learn basically a lot of the students from those schools ended up working for like these major companies, automotive companies, because they would specifically work on those cars. You had Aviation High School where they had a fighter jet in the hangar that they had to take apart, put back together.
Oh, that's very cool.
And a lot of those schools have vanished,
Right.
I mean, I can go on and on and on, but that's all gone now. Now it's about, I don't even want to get into it, but,
Right. I think I really want to do this. That's honest truth, because, again, my daughter's getting to an age where I got to make a decision. So I'm going to use this platform to hold myself accountable.
Not only that, if you're out there and you agree with these ideas, hey, reach out to us, man.
Yes, only reach out to us if you are in the Anne Arundel County area specifically, just because logistics and geography does matter. Reach out to us. If you have a child of the ages between, I guess, between 2 and 4 right now, because that's our kids, so we can put them in the program and then build a class around them that they can grow with. And we don't even have to start with a full 5 days a week curriculum. We can start with once a week, get all the kids together and start building them up.
And just make it into a co-op, where we're all helping each other out, giving them what they need.
Do we need to get accredited by a state?
I don't know how that works.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, if you can help with that, reach out.
Reach out to us. But certainly, if you have any interest, let us know. And what I started to say as far as holding myself accountable, because this is how I work best, right? If somebody else knows checklists, timelines, time-bound projects, I would say we are now the day before Father's Day 2023. By Father's Day 2024, this program, if it not already started, is solidified and ready to go by the following September. So by September 2024, which is the new school year, a year from now, essentially, we have a program ready to go with kids enrolled in it and curriculum written.
I think it's feasible.
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either. Like I said, and the thing is, the beauty of something like this, it doesn't have to be stationary, right? Oh, woodworking time, we're going to Steve's garage, whatever we're as a class, okay? Yeah. We're all going to learn together.
When you hear go to Steve's garage, there's other questionable.
There's lots of dangers involved.
So now we got to buy a minivan.
Yes, but you might need that. You know what I mean? Because that's the beauty of this type of learning, right? A history lesson does not have to be taught out of a book. It's a field trip to Fort McHenry and learn about the Star-Spangled Banner. You know what I mean?
I did not appreciate it at the time, but growing up in Israel, learning Bible studies and history, we would learn something and then have the opportunity to go visit the site.
Yes. It's
different.
It does make it. I mean, you saw my emotional reactions when you brought me to Israel. I've read about it. I learned about it, but to actually be there and see it and say, oh, wow, it's valid.
Right.
It makes a huge impact. Like even go to Fort McHenry, to this day, and most vets do, when they do the flag raising at Fort McHenry, I get so emotional because that is where it happened, Right. So it's like you appreciate it even more,
I have another assignment for our listeners. This is a homework assignment since we're talking about school.
I hate homework.
It's not for you.
Okay, good.
It's for the listeners.
Because I'm not doing it.
But the listeners, if you want to win, we'll say a beer pint glass and a T-shirt.
Those are nice beer glasses, by the way.
Nice beer glasses. Write a 200-word essay on Wadi Masada, the history of Masada.
Oh.
Right? I've done some research.
Yep.
Got to write it. Got to send it to us. Cannot use, AI.
And there is a program to put it in to see if they did.
And then, and send it to us and tag it online saying Masada homework. Hashtag Masada homework. I just came up with this bullshit. I don't know if it...
It's cool, though, because during the conference, 2 people came up, recognized the name, and knew what it was about, and really appreciated you know, what it meant to be named Masada. Because if you're going to name yourself Masada, you got to have the to back it up.
Yep, 100%.
Right. So, which we do.
So go ahead and do the homework. Send it to us. Tag yourself doing it. Hashtag Masada homework, and we'll send you a pint glass and a T-shirt.
I like it. I might do it just to get the pint glass and the T-shirt.
I thought you don't do homework.
I'll have ChatGPT do it for me. Oh wait, we just said we could. No, I'm just.
Well, Steven, have a wonderful Father's Day.
Yeah. What are you going to do before we sign off for Father's Day?
My plan is I get the kids tonight because this is not typically my weekend, so I'm gonna get them tonight.
No, it is your weekend because it's Father's Day.
It is. Well, in theory, according to the way the custody is written, I would get them tomorrow for the day, but I get them tonight and I get them till Monday morning, so it's cool. I told the boys we'll probably go fishing.
Nice.
And you know, I just want to relax and spend time with them.
I already told myself I want a Five Guys burger with fries, and I'm gonna work on their treehouse. Like awesome. I nothing resonates to me more than Father's Day than doing fatherly stuff for my kids.
Well, maybe I'll do that because I've been talking to my kids about
expanding the adventure wall.
Yeah, the adventure wall outside. Maybe
that's what I'm calling it. I don't know what you call it.
No,
I like the adventure wall.
It is for now on be called
the adventure wall.
Right.
Yes. So that's my Father's Day.
Awesome. That sounds great. So for everybody else out there, have a wonderful Father's Day. Make the most out of it. It is not parental. You know, what do they call it? Because they don't call mothers anymore. I
don't know what they call them. I call my mom.
No, it's weird. It's one of those woke things, but whatever. So
then why are we even bringing it up?
Because we actually are fathers, and
I'm a father,
and I think everybody else
I'm a male,
father, and
biologically, genetically, and mentally.
But I want to enforce that. So for those of you that are fathers out there, go make the most out of it. Be a dad. Do something with your kids. Reach out if you need ideas. And until next time, stay savage.